So, not a big deal, but I need to know who I'm talking to, okay? So if you need to take a breath, but you just need to talk with me, okay? Or at least just tell me who you are. If not, we'll find it out.
So, with this idea, you were planning to open an account, or do what?
Yeah, I was going to open an account, and I was going to start, getting a job, and...
Gotcha. So you know you can still get a job being yourself, right?
A felon.
You can still get a job.
Not in New Mexico, they don't give you any chances.
You're in Washington State now. You can still get a job. Okay.
Thank you for not arresting me.
Well, just...
I'm not going to do this anymore.
Okay, well...
On May 31st, 2024, Kent police responded to a fraud investigation that would test the boundaries of officer discretion and constitutional law. This case involves identity theft, Miranda rights, and the delicate balance between enforcement and compassion in modern policing.
Yeah, so she went to our Seattle branch, opened an account with a different ID. She went to our Burien branch with a different ID. This is a third ID with a different name here at this branch.
I'm Officer Clark with the Kent Police Department. I have my body camera going, okay? Do you know why we're here?
Here's the fake utility bill that she keeps circulating with different things on it.
Have you guys actually identified her as, like, with a true name?
We don't know. So this is the third ID with different name. We can give you what the other IDs are.
Please.
Pictures of them.
Yep.
Can you print them?
You have mine.
What's your name, ma'am? Okay. So at this point, you are detained. You're not free to leave. Do you understand that? Okay. Ma'am, do you have identification? So, we can identify you. I'm just kind of trying to gauge your compliance with me, okay? I'm trying to not be super evasive on it. If you have identification, I'd love to see it.
I don't.
Okay. Are you going to give me your name?
So we're trying to make this as easy as possible by just asking for your name, okay? Rather than having to bring someone here to take your fingerprint or potentially even book you in jail just to get your name. So if you give us your name, there could very well be a possibility that I send these up to review and they contact you at a later time. And if you don't, then we have to go take you to jail to make sure we have you identified.
I just don't want you to catch any extra charges of basically delaying the process of an investigation by just not being cooperative. Okay? Because we do have to know who you are. That's like I said. So we are conducting an investigation this time, okay? So can I just get your name?
I just got really hot.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? You're kind of in a situation right now, okay? So, not a big deal. But I need to know who I'm talking to, okay? So if you need to take a breath, but you just need to talk with me, okay? Or at least just tell me who you are. If not, we'll find it out. Ashley? And where are you staying at right now, Ashley? Homeless? You got a car outside or something? Is that what you're living in?
No, I take the bus around.
Take the bus? Okay.
Ashley, do you have an ID on you?
It was stolen.
Stolen.
Be somebody else. I didn't want to be me anymore.
Ashley, do you have any kind of warrants or anything like that we're about to hear or something, or what? Is that why you're just not wanting to give me your name?
There's a possibility of one
Possibility for what?
from New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay. Is it something I'm gonna have to load you up and fly you down there, or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, because you're detained, right? Because I'm not allowing you to leave right now, I'll just read you your rights, okay? Do you understand your rights?
Thanks.
So what was your intentions for today? Do you wanna?
So what's your real name? Ashley. Okay. So exactly what I was going to ask. What are you intending to do here today?
Open an account?
Okay. With this ID, is there a reason why you're using an ID without your?
Because I don't want to be me anymore. I'm tired of being who I am. I just want a new life.
Okay. And you thought a New York ID would help you do that?
Well, it would make me not making one.
So, with this ID, you were planning to open an account or do what?
Yeah, I was going to open an account and I was going to start, I was going to get a job and just be this person.
Okay. Have you ever lived in New York? So where did the idea of New York come from? Like you just like New York?
I always wanted to go there.
Gotcha. Where'd you get the Social Security card?
A friend gave it to me.
A friend. Where does this friend frequent live, or what's his name?
He's just a voice over the phone.
Okay. And how about this ID?
It's the same person. It's a voice over the phone.
Okay.
You call a number, you get a new one.
Okay. Did that same person give you this ID?
I got it in the mail.
Okay. But the same, you got it the same way. Have you had a Social Security card for these other IDs?
Officer Clark's initial detention was grounded in Terry v. Ohio, the 1968 Supreme Court decision, establishing reasonable suspicion standards. The bank's report of multiple fraudulent attempts across 3 branches provided specific, articulable facts justifying investigative detention. This wasn't mere speculation. The officer had documented evidence of a pattern of criminal conduct at multiple locations. Under Washington state law and Hiebel v. 6th Judicial District Court of Nevada, lawfully detained individuals must identify themselves. The 2004 Supreme Court ruling held that identification requirements during Terry stops don't violate 4th or 5th Amendment protections. The subject's initial refusal created a lawful basis for arrest solely to establish identity through booking. Officer Clark's Miranda advisement was textbook. He waited until detention became custodial before advising rights. Miranda v. Arizona requires warnings before custodial interrogation, the right to silence, right to counsel, and appointed attorney if indigent. The timing was critical. Too early wastes constitutional protection, too late violates 5th Amendment rights. Washington Revised Code 9.35.20 defines identity theft in the second degree as knowingly possessing another's identification with criminal intent. Each fraudulent ID constitutes a separate Class C felony, punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment. The statute doesn't require successful fraud, only possession with intent to commit crime.
You did? Okay. Where are those IDs and Social Security cards at? Do you see anything necessarily wrong with what you're doing?
Well, these people there, that I'm told that they're not able to be them anymore. Like they're not even real anymore. Like they're like in the hospital and they can't be them. So how am I hurting anybody?
Okay. Were you successful in opening an account with those other locations?
And the other one wasn't able to open it. She said she'd call me back later.
Okay. So were you intending to get a job with the other names as well? Or
I was going to see which one would pass because you never know what comes up when they actually do a background check. So,
okay. And where do you currently live right now? Your home. Okay. Where do you frequent?
it was the Aurora area, but I didn't want to look up anywhere. It was too far away, so I found down in the SeaTac area.
Do you have the phone number that you called to get these IDs?
It changes.
Okay. Is it like a website or just a person that you call or email or what?
So you call a number and you get another number to call because that number always changes. It's like pings and stuff. It's weird.
Okay. When was the last time you lived in New Mexico?
A few months back.
So your ID should still potentially be valid?
But it was stolen.
Okay. What's the warrant for?
Shoplifting.
Gotcha. So you know you can still get a job being yourself, right?
A felony.
You can still get a job.
Not in New Mexico. They don't give you any chances.
You're in Washington State now. You can still get a job.
I applied at a bunch of different places and nobody ever called me back.
Okay. So once we have you identified, we'll go from there. I just want to make sure that you are who you say you are in New Mexico. And you've never had an ID out of the state. So I'm going to
It's
be...
so bad that I want to change who I am.
So, it's a fake ID, and it's a fake social security card. Okay, so I was just now getting to that, so I'm glad you touched on that. So what we're looking at here is identity theft. So you're trying to be somebody else that you're not, trying to open a bank account with a name that doesn't belong to you, with a social security card that doesn't belong to you. Where is this City of Seattle light bill from? Where'd you get this?
I found it in one of the hotel rooms that I was at, and you can change the information on it.
So is it one of the hotels?
One that you can, like, you scan it into the computer and you just change the information on it.
What information did you change?
The address.
This address? Okay, what else did you change?
No.
You changed the address there too? Or you changed the name? Or both?
Well, they all tell the same thing.
Yeah. So you changed the addresses for all of them?
Well, yeah, they had to match.
Okay, I'm just checking. Did you change anything else on there?
I don't think so.
Okay. So you didn't change the account number, the name, the amount, the dates?
Well, that's the same, but yeah, I changed the account number to put like random numbers in there.
Okay, so did you get the ID to match the name, or did you change the name there to match the ID?
I made this match the ID.
Gotcha. Or how'd you come up with that name?
That's just the name that I was given.
By who?
The person on the phone.
Okay. I will be right back and we'll see about the ID. Okay.
The subject's 3 attempts at different branches created 3 separate counts under Washington law, not a single continuing offense. Each presentation of fraudulent documents to a financial institution represented a distinct criminal act. This charging decision reflects prosecutorial discretion to hold offenders accountable for each victim institution. Officer Clark's interrogation technique demonstrated professional skill. He offered clear choices without coercion: cooperate and possibly avoid arrest, or refuse and face mandatory jail booking for identification purposes. This approach is legally sound under Berkemer versus McCarty and encourages voluntary cooperation. The arrest discretion decision involved multiple factors: cooperation, medical condition, proper identification obtained, and minimal flight risk. Washington law grants officers discretion in Class C felonies to either arrest immediately or forward charges for prosecution. This reflects modern evidence-based policing that considers alternatives to immediate incarceration for nonviolent offenses. The fraudulent documents themselves violated RCW 9A 60.02, possession of forged instruments with intent to defraud. High-quality fake state IDs, social security cards, and utility bills demonstrate sophisticated criminal networks supplying identity theft. The prosecution could charge both identity theft and forgery possession as separate offenses. The trespass order raised jurisdictional issues. Kent police could only ban the subject from locations within Kent city limits. The Seattle and Berrien bank branches required separate trespass orders from their respective police departments. This illustrates how fragmented jurisdiction can complicate victim protection in multi-location crimes. Officer Clark's provision of social service resources represents community-oriented policing, addressing root causes of criminal behavior. Research shows that connecting offenders with housing, mental health, and employment services reduces recidivism more effectively than incarceration alone. This approach balances accountability with intervention, a hallmark of progressive law enforcement. The subject's confession after Miranda warnings was admissible because she knowingly and voluntarily waived her rights.
So I got them trying to pull some kind of a DOL out of New Mexico. So it's unfortunately they have her listed like for a felony. It was a warrant out of New Mexico. It was like conspiracy to commit shoplift. So it wasn't felony. It was like something dumb. But they have her listed in there. We don't have anything on our end. The only thing I didn't run was like county booking to see if she's been booked there. But we got nothing on her on our end. I mean, I would probably ask her like why she's giving like an AKA, like what is her actual freaking name, and like I mean, but then again, people who like commit frauds like this, like I don't even know if they know who they are anymore at this point, you know. But like, I would say we'd probably take her down and get her like book her and fingerprint her and do all the stuff and get photographs.
And then do the felony quite large.
Do what do you got? She's going felony level on that one? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would transport her down, get her fully identified and stuff like that. And then, I mean, she's homeless, so who knows where she's gonna go, but try to get a good address. I'll see if I can dig into it a little bit, if she can give me some more about the name and stuff. Hey, Ashley. So it's me, Officer Clark again. So we're having issues with your name. So we've got you in the system for like multiple names. Is there a reason for that? Do you go by other names?
My married name.
What's your married name?
But I don't go by it anymore.
Okay. Well, whether you go by it anymore or legally go by it are a couple different things, okay? So, the last name that you had identification, what name would it be? And where would that have been out of?
New Mexico.
Okay. Okay.
Can you look up at me, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? And who said that?
Records.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah, you do have a warrant out of New Mexico. Okay. It's not something we're going to take you on, right? So we're City of Kent at this time. So we're going to go with what my officer over here has for you. Okay. So he's got a little more details for you.
Yep. So, like I told you earlier, my goal here was to get you identified, not all these other names that you've been using, right? And if we can get you identified, then I will send this up, and then eventually you will get something at your P.O. box saying you have a date for what happened here today. Because ultimately there's one incident here, but the rest of them are not in the city of Kent. Okay? So also the way your leg is looking, also will not be taking you to jail today, but do you have a phone number I can reach you at? Do you guys have any thoughts and concerns? Okay.
Thank you for not arresting me.
Well, just...
I'm not going to do this anymore.
Okay, well, just because you're not necessarily getting arrested today doesn't mean you won't in the future for this. Okay? At this point, just because you want to be somebody else doesn't mean you should get another ID and social security card. It's like I told you, it's identity theft.
How do you suggest to get a different life?
Do you have any other identifications on you that you want to give us that we can take?
I don't have anyone, no.
Okay.
Not the ones that you used at Miranda or Seattle?
I got rid of the one that I couldn't open the account because they couldn't verify it. I got rid of those. That's it.
Okay. Just... I mean, you have a record in New Mexico. I don't really recommend you get one here in Washington. I'm in reading criminal history in Washington, but if you're trying to start a new life, it's probably not the best way to do it.
So you know it is a crime to actually be in possession of another person's ID, correct? You know that, right?
But I didn't think it was an actual like an actual person because how could you get an actual person's real information?
Officer Clark earns an A-. His constitutional compliance was flawless, his tactical approach professional. The only minor concern, extended interrogation after identification was established, may have been unnecessary. Once the subject was identified and admitted basic facts, ending the interview would have been more conservative. The subject receives a D+. Her repeated criminal conduct across multiple locations demonstrates deliberate wrongdoing. However, ultimate cooperation, non-violent behavior, and genuine desperation provide some mitigation. She avoided an F only through final honesty and compliance with the investigation. The Kent Police Department receives an A for policy excellence, training quality, and support for officer discretion. Their body camera program ensures transparency. Their community policing approach addresses crime holistically. The department empowers officers to make sound judgment calls in non-violent felony cases. Key lessons. First, reasonable suspicion requires specific facts, not hunches or generalizations. Multiple bank reports of the same individual using different IDs clearly meets this standard. Second, Miranda timing matters. Advise rights when detention becomes custodial, not before or after. Too early undermines the warning's purpose. Too late violates constitutional protections. Third, officer discretion in non-violent felonies serves justice when exercised with clear reasoning. Consider cooperation level, flight risk, public safety, victim needs, and offender circumstances. Discretion isn't leniency. It's intelligent application of law to achieve best outcomes. Fourth, identity theft. Laws protect not just financial institutions but the individuals whose identities are stolen. Even if no money was taken, the real person behind that fake ID faces potential credit damage and fraud liability. The crime is complete upon possession with intent, regardless of actual financial loss. Fifth, professional interrogation balances information gathering with constitutional rights respect. Explain consequences truthfully. Offer lawful choices. Never make promises you can't keep. Coercion invalidates confessions. Honesty and patience produce admissible statements. Finally, modern policing recognizes that many offenders need intervention, not just punishment. Homelessness, mental health struggles, and desperation drive crime. Addressing these reduces recidivism. Social service connections alongside prosecution create better long-term public safety outcomes. This case exemplifies balancing accountability with compassion in 21st century law enforcement.
Like, right?
Come again?
How did you get the real person's? I thought it was like it's fake, right? It's not.
A driver's license?
Yeah, it has my picture on it, but
I have a driver's license in my pocket right now, and it's mine, right? So it's me with my information.
it's got my picture on it. But I wasn't sure if the information was actually right. That's
So
why
the
the one time it wasn't
chances, so the
verified.
chances of you looking like someone else in a one-dimensional photograph, the chances of that are fairly high, right? Have you ever heard of the word doppelganger, where you have someone who kind of looks like you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a chance that you look like someone. That does not give you the right to take that person's identification. Clearly, it's not you. It does not have your name on it. And then come into a financial institution and try to open up bank accounts and take out loans and do all the things, right? That's called fraud, okay? That is fraudulent, 100% hands down. Because you are not that person, and you are telling them that you are that person when you're not. That's against the law, okay? And you know that. I know you know that.
I know.
We're not going to take her to jail today because she's having some medical issues and we also identified her. But will be investigated for a felony level identity theft.
Okay, yeah, for trespass and all that too, though, because like she's been going from branch to branch, and I'm not really sure if she smoked in my bathroom, did some
Okay, do you want me to trespass her for a year or for life?
for life.
Okay, do you have any other branches in Kent?
No.
Okay, so I can only trespass her for the branch in Kent. I can't trespass her for other
Okay.
locations.
Can you check her bathroom this morning?
Where is it?
I was trying to use the restroom and I went over there. She used the guest bathroom, but I felt like ever since I
Where
walked
is it?
right in, my nose is like in between.
I didn't smell anything in the bathroom. She may or may not have.
Maybe.
On that card, next to the stars, those places can help you kind of start over. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Give them a call. Reach out to them.
You guys actually care in this state.
Yeah, we try.
You make
Obviously,
about it.
stop trying to do what you're doing now. Okay, get your warrant taken care of, but reach out to them. They can help. Okay.
Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic you'd like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our second channel, Audit the Court. Share your thoughts on officer discretion and identity theft prosecution in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe for more legal analysis of police encounters.